One Piece chapter 762. Quite enjoyable chapter. Love the fact that Oda did not, tease us with the backstory this time and then deviate away. I'm gonna have to make this a quick review because I'm still working without, the internet and whatnot, so I don't want to have too much to upload. But Law's backstory, just as tragic as I expected. The whole thing with the Kingdom of Fervance, the White City as it's come to be known because of this illness called amber lead poisoning. Really explains a lot. We still don't know how Law is still alive when he was slated to die so long ago, but I mean, I'll get into my theories about that in a second. But just I'm enjoying this backstory, seeing the Don Quixote family in their younger years, 10 years ago, whatever, how long ago that was. Seeing certain characters just looking somewhat different. Young Doflamingo looking like a boss. Just really enjoyed it, and the whole backstory into the Kingdom of Fervance just really brings forth again, time and time again, every One Piece arc, multiple times an arc. Whenever we get these backstories, there's always pointing to, the darkness and, the greed and, just basically how corrupt the world government and the world nobles are. Basically they were all aware of the potential for the amber lead to cause this poisoning, and yet they did nothing for their own economic benefit. Shit is just wrong, dude. The world government, time and time again, dude. And that makes me think, because, most of the Navy, admiral level, not really so much admiral level aside from like Fujitora, who is, and, Corazon left, so you can't really count that, Aokiji is, but those two, they're quite just, and exactly why Corazon left the world government, because he knows about their corruption. He doesn't trust people like, Akainu running it, Fujitora, going away from his mission just to, help out Dressrosa because he sees what Doflamingo is doing is wrong. But aside from those top level, Akainu, Borsalino, and all them blindly following world government, I don't even know what Akaino's true goal is, but for the most part, the Marines, under that level, all have, some sort of push for justice and are good people for the most part. So, at the end of the day, when you think about villainy in the One Piece universe, the main villains of the series are the world nobles and the world government. You have, characters who are antagonists of sorts who will be standing in, the Straw Hat Crew's way and for various other reasons. Other pirates, the Yonko, Blackbeard, I guess, is the other main antagonist. But the world government, time and time again, you see Law's anger and hatred towards them in this chapter, and it's completely justified every fucking time. They're just doing some shady shit. It's so slimy how the fucking Freelance nobles just left them all to die there, and how they're just quarantined, even though it's not, a transmutable disease. They're just killing them all off. It's a sad backstory, seeing Law's sister and everything like that. Had no idea he had a sister, and that was pretty sad. I forget her name. His father being a doctor, you get some insight into how Law got into, the whole medical field in the first place, and you just see how Law's character was shaped in this chapter because of what he went through. He escaped the White City by, just blending in with the mound of corpses that were there. So, just really dark backstory, and I really enjoyed getting that characterization around Law and seeing what this illness was and how he was driven to the mind state he had when he joined Doflamingo's crew. The next step is finding out what goes on with Corazon, because we see at the end of this chapter, Law just basically doesn't give a fuck about anything based on what he went through, and he knows he's gonna die soon anyway, so he's just like, all these pieces of shit in the world just deserve to die if I'm gonna die anyway. So he's going after Corazon because Corazon is being a prick. So he goes after Corazon, and at the end of this chapter we see him kind of pierce through him. Corazon's not going out like that. We haven't even heard the man speak yet. Of course he's not going out. He hasn't shaped his Law's life yet in the way that these claims have been made. So what we have next to see, next week's chapter, I'm hoping to get, some sort of bond forming between Corazon and Law. I'm curious to see how that happens. I'm pretty sure that Corazon was the previous holder of the Ope fruit. That's what my guess is right now, and that's how he'll be able to recover easily from that. And I think that the strife between Doflamingo and Corazon will come from his misuse of the Ope fruit, or maybe doing something as he comes to, grow closer to Law potentially. that causes him to, you know, cross Doflamingo in a way. Because right now, you see even Doflamingo at the beginning of the chapter being like, if you touch my dear younger brother Corazon, just a hair on his head, I'll fucking kill you. So right now, Doflamingo is all about his boy Corazon. So I need to know what happens, how it happens, when I'm so super excited for that. But that's pretty much it for this chapter. I'm really happy to finally be into this backstory and getting this information, and it was solid, good information. Nothing seemed out of place at all. And Law's backstory was quite sad. I can't wait to get that shit animated with the sad One Piece music, because you know that's how they do with those flashbacks, and it gives it that extra something. So I'm gonna give this chapter an 8 out of 10. Really like the progression of the backstory and everything like that. Can't wait to see what happens next with Law and Corazon, and how Doflamingo and him get into their altercation and everything like that. Let me know what you thoughts on Law's backstory, his family, you know, everything he went through in White City, the world government's involvement in the Amber, and the Amber lead poisoning, how Law, you know, makes it past his expiration date, so to speak. All of these questions up in the air right now, but really enjoyable chapter. And that's pretty much it. Peace.